Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. As-salatu was-salam ala rasulihil kareem. Amma ba'd. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Allahumma 'allimna ma yanfa'una wanfa'na bima 'allamtana wa zidna ilma. So we have reached lesson number 3 in this online course on Ibrahim alayhi salam's dream and the onslaught of Gog and Magog. We've asked the question, are dreams a window into the future? What is the reality of dreams, and in particular, this particular dream of Prophet Abraham when he sees himself sacrificing his son? So now let's talk about Sheikh Imran Hussein's understanding of the subject. According to him and his teacher, the great Islamic philosopher from the Indian subcontinent, Dr. Fazlur Rahman Ansari from Pakistan, it is an act of great disservice to the Quran if an ayat is understood in isolation from the rest of the Quran and hence out of its context. So basically, we are doing disservice to the Quran if we are understanding an ayat of the Quran, taking it in isolation from the rest of the text of the Quran and taking it out of context. I mean, this rule actually applies to even regular books. You can never take a statement out of context. You have to take it with the entire text, along with the entire text. That's like rule number 1 of understanding and hermeneutics and these fields. How do you read a book? And with regards to the Quran, again and again, the Quran emphasizes that it has to be understood as a whole, as a coherent, harmonious whole. So every ayat is connected, and that too harmoniously, to every other ayat. Now, how can we apply this rule number 1 of studying the Quran to the current situation, which is the dream of Prophet Abraham? Throughout the Quran, Allah prohibits human sacrifice and killing one's children, calling it a pagan, satanic, un-Islamic practice. So, if all of that is prohibited, then how can we understand this command to Prophet Abraham alayhi salam to sacrifice his son in the light of these various prohibitory ayat? So again, if we are supposed to take the entire Quran as a whole, as a harmonious whole, how does this all fit? Here Allah is prohibiting the same thing, and here He's commanding His Prophet to do whatever He has prohibited before. So clearly we would be taking the ayat pertaining to Ibrahim alayhi salam's dream of sacrificing his son and isolating it from the rest of the Quranic text, and hence leaning towards an out of context understanding. So additionally, it would also mean that the Quran contradicts itself, which is impossible, and we seek refuge in Allah from claiming that. Hence, the ayat has a deeper meaning that needs to be recovered. So our solution is that this just doesn't work. This sort of an understanding of him being commanded literally to sacrifice his son, it just does not go with the entirety of the Quran. And also it leads to this very problematic situation where then you'll have to say the Quran contradicts itself, which is impossible. And Na'uzubillah, we seek refuge in Allah from claiming that. So how are we to understand this particular thing? The answer is we are to understand this as a dream. How are dreams understood in the Quran?